This episode is brought to you by thedolphinwars.com.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to King Dolphin TV. I am Raymond. I am the author of the Dolphin Wars trilogy of books and ruler of the greatest pod on YouTube. I would like to welcome you to episode 397. This is another installment of Radio King Dolphin TV, and I have the amazing Not Ready for Pod Time players, starting with Agent Pepsi 1. How you doing, ma'am?
Hey, pretty good. Other than my allergies. Oh, but I'm here.
All right. We have the wonderful anti-derivative Jill. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
And we have the amazing Max Redstone. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing okay. I'm also being affected by allergies, although they're going straight to my eyes.
Okay. Also, please, if we would put a Max an MR out there. One of Max's friends had passed away, and let's just show that we're thinking about it. Please put an MR out there. Okay.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. It's what we do here. Okay, so we will get started after I do the introductions, and we will get started with this installment. All right, we are starting out with Phantom Outsider. How are you doing there, sir? We have Swift -1. And those are the guests that we have right now. And now I will go to our Lifeguard Corps. We have FKHC 2005. We have the wonderful Legatus Legionii. And we've got the baddest bear on the internet. Snort up! What the heck did you do, Dolphin? Gosh, Sandra leaves, and you botch things up.
You did.
Talk about fear and loathing in West Virginia.
Yeah. All right, let's try this again. Snort up, poopas! Q, burr, dot, scream, hashtag roar. All right, see, she's in a meeting and things don't work. Figures. If you like what we're doing here, if you like Radio King Dolphin TV, if you love the interviews we do here, and I need interviews, please get me some people, guys. If you like Just Cuz, please like, subscribe, and engage. We need those engagings so we can beat down the YouTube algorithm.
Did you just say engagings and algorithm?
Yeah. Well, wow. Engage to beat down.
You are fully at war with the English language.
I know. I guess I'm going to be having issues with the script today.
Yeah, it should be engagement. There, engagement.
It can be engaging.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Whatever.
Okay,
Let's beat
whatever.
down Yeah, let's beat down the YouTube algorithm, and that's my invented word. And also, if you are so inclined, help keep the lights on going on here at the channel. We by doing super chats, super stickers, or the tip link. According to FKHC, who says, put an FKHC out there. No, yeah. Yeah, I am having trouble. See, Sandra's not here. I go bananas. Radio King Dolphin TV is brought to you by the collection agency of Snorty and Trike, who remind you to pay in super chats, super stickers, or the tip link here. And the tip link is out there. I will put it up. And please put an SE out there for Suzanne Eckstein, whose youngest daughter died from cancer. Oh, no. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, the Dolphins lost. Let's see. And the tip link is okay. Tip link is right there. All right. Okay, so tip link's been done. All the other monologuing is done. I somehow survived it. Phantom Outsider says, I only speak New Jersey English and bad English. That seems like me today. Okay, so we're going to get started with the next section of All's Fair, a Dolphin Wars novel. We've been doing this for, gosh, Jill, what, about a year now?
At least
a year, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah. This section is called Wounded Warriors, and I am going to warn right now, there is foul language.
There's going to be some adult language in this section.
Very adult language. So you may want the censor blankies out, especially if Pudgy comes in. Okay. So without further ado, we will get started here. In 3, 2, 1, now.
Part 3, Wounded Warriors. Chapter 32, Present Day. It was a week later. Jan was at the Knife's Edge Bar and Hostel on asteroid Gamma 15. This was a place where soldiers went to drown their sorrows and avoid the pain of the war. He lay in bed after another session with another nameless prostitute and having this mysterious dream. He met her down at the bar. He was being sullen and still didn't drink anything but water. He could not binge drink because he never felt the effects for some reason, so he quit drinking. She walked over wearing a short denim skirt, knee-high boots, and a leather vest which left nothing to the imagination. The first things he noticed were her scars and an eye patch on her right eye. She also had fresh scars on her arm and leg, and she walked with a noticeable limp. She asked if he wanted a date, and when he said nothing and stared at the floor, she shrugged and walked away. An hour later, she came back and sat across from him. She said,
Hey, you SOB. No one ever turns me down. I've turned down better men than you.
When he said nothing, she slapped him and walked away. Later, the bar closed. He walked to the elevator to go to his room, and as he waited for it, she came over to him and said softly,
Hi.
I thought I gave the impression that I didn't want to pay for what you had to offer.
I can tell things about people. I can really think. I really think that just for one night, if you need someone, let's just be together. No charge, no exceptions.
He looked at her when she was naked and saw the scars on her arm, face, and legs. They somehow made her attractive. After they made love for the third time, he was sitting on the bed drinking wine from a bottle and said,
I was married to an officer. It was 6 months ago that she fought a battle and died heroically. I'd like to think that she did, but then I look at what's happened since all that death, and I asked her if her death meant anything.
Yeah, one death diminishes us all. Um, it's up to us to find out our own meaning in it.
It's rather strange to have a philosopher with no clothes.
Yeah, she smiled and said, "Well, there's one in every crowd."
Are you a freelancer or do I have to deal with somebody?
I'm a free agent. Why?
My grandfather always told me that when our family needs to gain perspective, it's time to go home. Well, it's time for me to go home, and for some reason, I don't want to go alone.
Listen, Bob. I think we need time for each other. I'd give it to you for free, but I don't need any relationship or that crap. I'm happy here. And she kissed his forehead and said, "I hope you find what you're looking for, honey." Then she took her clothes and went to the bathroom.
Jan sat there and then said nothing as she walked out of the room. The next day at the Gamma 15 spaceport, Jan walked to the military counter wearing dress whites. The commander looked at him and requested his papers. Lieutenant Ando, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You're heading the wrong way, aren't you, Lieutenant?
No, sir. Here's my ID and orders for 3 months bereavement and recuperation leave on Earth.
He looked at the paperwork and he put two and two together. So you're that Ando. I was told to look out for you. Well, your paperwork is in order. Enjoy your leave and don't worry. The war will still be going when you return.
Jan said grimly, I certainly hope so. Thank you, sir. He boarded the transport and put his bags in his berth.
A week later, the ship came out of the bridge near the moon. Jan rubbed his head. When the ship went in the bridge, he saw nothing but white light and then heard in his mind.
Tarav, it's him. It is our little brother.
I know Archaea. I sense him. But he doesn't know about us yet.
He will soon. He will soon. But for now, we must sink.
Sink. Jan didn't know what to make of it and endured the painful headache with a slight yelp. He went to the ship's doctor, who could not find anything wrong with him. The ship went into orbit around the moon. He took his bags and headed to the shuttle that would fly him to Earth. When he boarded the shuttle, he took his seat. Then he heard a familiar voice ask him if she could sit by him. He turned and saw the nameless prostitute who 2 weeks ago had shared his bed. She was dressed as an SDF ensign in a uniform with the rating of a yeoman. She stood at attention and said,
Yeah, Ensign. Yeah, excuse me just a second. Just my allergies are killing me. She said, "Ensign Yeoman Ribbons." Tina A, sir.
when he was shocked. When he was shocked when he saw her, but he hid it well. He nodded, and when she sat down, and he said nothing. Other people who ran into someone whom they were intimate with would be uncomfortable. Jan, however, used his gift to think about how he was going to spend his month at home. Many of his thoughts included this woman in his bed. He had many questions, but he was too professional to voice them out loud at this time. When the shuttle landed at the Beijing spaceport, he walked out of the port carrying his bag with Ensign Robbins following at a discreet distance. When he left the port, he saw a tram car with the Eastwind Shipping company logo waiting. He turned around and said to the young woman,
Ensign, can I give you a ride to the transportation office?
She blushed for the first time and nervously said,
If it's not out of your way, sir.
The chauffeur came out and opened the rear door. Robbins looked surprised but said nothing as she entered first, followed by Jan. After the car drove away, Jan asked,
Would you care to explain yourself before I report you for behavior unbecoming an officer?
Sorry, I'm sorry. But we never ask each other's names? All I knew was that you were in the force. Folks, I'm terribly sorry for my coughing. It's just I can't help it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, let me start again. Sir, I'm sorry, but we have never asked each other's names. All I knew was that you were in the force, and you could have been Jeffy Grant off the front line. Her tough demeanor broke as tears as welled in her eyes. I know you need someone just as I did. I want someone who I'm loved, and I never told us. So on impulse, I decided to take the transfer to Earth, hoping that you would see you again. Oh my God, today. Oh. You know, I felt foolish when I looked all over and could not see you. I saw you as you left the ship. Yeah, I'm sorry, but my voice is completely failing. I almost walked back into the transport and wanted to be with you, sir. You can do anything you want now, sir.
He stuck out his hand to shake hers and said,
My name is Jan Ando.
she gasped and said,
I didn't know, sir. I was your wife's yeoman.
she turned away from him and cried. She continued crying as they took off. A shuttle from the East Wind's corporate office met them at the Beijing spaceport and flew south to Vietnam. Ensign Robbins was awestruck at the beauty of the water, which she had never seen as she had had her training at the SDF training facility at the moon. Jan snuck a glance at her and marveled at her childlike wonder, which was in contrast to the wound she had suffered. For the umpteenth time, he wondered why he invited her. They had nothing in common. Perhaps now he knew who she was. He wanted to know more about his late wife's last days. As they reached the city of Da Nang, they started a descent over the South China Sea. Jan could see the island he was pining for. Off the shore of Vietnam was the island of Hon La, which was Leaf in Vietnamese, located in the Sham Island chain just off the coast and was the centerpiece of East Wind. His great-great-grandfather formed the massive East Wind Shipping Company from a modest fishing fleet. At that time, to separate himself from the crowd, he changed his last name to Ando, just because he could. As the company became more prosperous, he wanted a refuge from the cares of the world. He found the island of Han La, just offshore of his beloved city of Da Nang. It was there he would build a home. He purchased the island and turned it into a paradise for his family. Jan's grandfather was the one who turned those modest beginnings into a true refuge for the Ando family. It was originally one small wing building on the north end of the island with a dirt access road from a private dock on the southwest end of the island. The island was mainly undisturbed from its natural state. He also constructed a private airfield, which consisted of a 7,000-foot main runway, a 3,000-foot alternate runway, and spots for vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. There was a power plant near the dock that supplied solar and wind power to the island. The main sign of human habitat was on the northeast part of the island. Ando expanded that part of the island and turned it into their compound, which was named the Wind Song Estate. It consisted of the main house, which was named Arena after Nguyen's late wife, and it started life as a simple two-story building for Si Ando and his family. His son, Nguyen Ando, transformed it into a massive 29-room edifice shaped like a squared-off W. He built the wings so that all rooms would have the best view of the outside world because he not only wanted a place where his family could reside while on the island, but also a utilitarian facility that was capable of entertaining guests and conducting business. Many thought it would make a very exclusive resort. The first floor of the building was open to the public and guests. The old building consisted of a recreation and sitting room, and the main ballroom. The left wing consisted of a museum which depicted the history of the company, as well as a massive map of the world where scale models of the ships were posted. It was also a memorial and theater in memory of Irina Ando. The middle wing was designed as a conference center and additional ballrooms. The right wing consisted of the kitchen and support facilities for the mansion. Private elevators were for the family's access to the second floor. The second floor was for the Ando family's exclusive use. It had a combination recreation room, gym complex, family living area, and dining area. Each of the three wings were the same. They had 4 bedrooms with bed, bath, and sitting areas. Each also had dens for the men of the house. The highlight was 3 massive suites at the very end of the wings. They consisted of a private kitchen and dining areas, 2 private studies, a living room, a sunroom, and a master bedroom with king-size bed lounge area, jacuzzi, and shower. The left wing belonged to Win. The middle wing was Jan's when he came in. Tran was the right wing. The 2 wings stayed ready for residents when either Tran or Jan came home on leave. The bedrooms were ready for family or specially invited guests. Ando wanted privacy for his family, but he also wanted his guests to be comfortable, so he constructed 3 dome-shaped bungalows with beach access for his guests. They were comfortable 4-bedroom facilities. Later, he wanted his staff to have the same accommodation, so he constructed 5 more. The first 5 were named Jade, Jasmine, Onyx, Bamboo, and Lotus. The other 3 were unnamed and were for house and security staff's use. Although Jade, Jasmine, and Onyx were for guest use, Tran preferred at times to have better beach access and to be removed from the rat race in the mansion. So, he used the Jasmine bungalow for times when he and Tanya came home. Jan and Lorena did the same for the Jade bungalow. Onyx belonged to Ivan Grigorievich Yvetkin, his great-grandfather and his grandfather's trusted assistant. Lotus was the home of Min, Bin, and Trin, the triplets and personal maids for Nguyen Ando. The final 3 belonged to the house and security staff. The compound was secured on 3 sides with white sand beaches. It had an Olympic-sized swimming pool, a soccer field, a quarter-mile track, and a full gym. His critics felt it was ostentatious and were better suited for a seaside resort, but Ando wanted to provide a comfortable and private area for his family and guests. He succeeded in all aspects. Jan grew up here and preferred it to the family's second home in Tel Aviv. The air tram landed at the airfield and was met by a car. It drove down to an access road and through the compound's gates. It was met by Ivan Grigorievich Yvetkin, the ageless majordomo for the Ando family who served 3 generations of the family. He opened the door for Jan, but Jan told him to wait. He turned to Tina and said,
Ensign, despite what is going on, I meant what I said. You could stay here with me, or the driver can take you wherever you want.
I can stay.
You can if you want.
I really want to stay with you, sir. I wanted to from the time we first met.
He took her hand and said, on one condition, you call me Jan.
She took his hand and sobbed, of course, Jan.
They walked over to Ivan, and Ivan gave him a big bear hug. After Jan caught his breath, he gasped.
Grandpa Ivan, this is Ensign Tina Robbins. She'll be staying with me for the duration.
Welcome, Ensign. Our home is yours.
What bungalow is available? I really don't want to stay in the castle on this trip. I'll take anything but Jade.
Jasmine is available, Master John. Do you want to change into civilian clothes there or in the main building?
I think we want to dump our clothes over at the fortress. Is the Commodore here?
No. When he found out you were coming home, he went to San Diego. The estate is yours. He turned to Tina and asked,
How are you for clothes?
Well, other than my uniforms, I have warm clothes and my work clothes.
Ivan clapped his hands, and three Oriental women emerged from the house. He said to her, "You need clothes that are appropriate for this climate. This is Min, Trin, and Bin. They will pick out some outfits." They all walked into the main house. Later, Jan came out in a Speedo bathing suit and Hawaiian shirt and waited. Tina came out in a tan bikini and sarong around her waist, with her wound showing like a badge of honor. He took her by the hand and led her to the bungalow, which was on the beach with the deck open to the ocean. He asked,
Nice. But why the bikini?
I never saw or felt the sun. I wanted to feel it caress me. Besides, I thought you would like it.
I do. Very much so.
He held her hand and led her to the bungalow. It had four comfortable bedrooms, a large living room, a small dining room, and a kitchen. It currently had a fully stocked bar and a buffet setting with fresh food. Jan put on jazz music and led her to the table where they had dinner with wine. They ate quietly, just watching each other and enjoying the moment. After dinner, Jan asked,
So tell me about yourself, Tina.
Well, I mean, there's nothing to tell. I was an orphan on the streets of an asteroid at 13. At, I decided at 16 to sell myself to survive. When I was 17, I asked one of my regular Johns to say that he was my guardian so he could sign me into the military. My first assignment after basic training was the U.S. grant. This was just after the Captain Lorena took command. She was fantastic. She knew that she knew how to. I'm sorry. She knew she knew how to make us work and kick butt when she needed to. When I found out that she was pregnant, I set up a baby shower for her. She loved it. She was going to call the baby Katrina after her grandmother's middle name. I wanted her to know I was in love with her. I knew she was an officer and I knew she was married, but I didn't care. She died before I could tell her. I was haunted by her when she was on the bridge. She had a look of rage as she took the death of her crew personally.
That's the way she was.
Um, when I got back, when I got back to the friendly lines, they decorated me and gave me a battlefield commission. I think in my heart, I will always be a snot-nosed crewman.
as the sun set, Jan walked out onto the deck. Tina walked out and put her arms around his muscular chest, her soft, naked body adding warmth to him. She asked in a soft voice,
Jen, why are you with me? Do you think I am? Do you think I'm a project to rehabilitate?
Tina, I lost a big part of myself when Lorena died. I can shut things away and put them in a small box and keep going on, but not after she died. She was a part of my life since she was my student advisor at the academy. After she died, I couldn't function normally. I never was the person to drown out things with booze or drugs. I became a time bomb ready to go off and take others with me. When they forced me to go on leave, I had nowhere to go. I realized the only way to heal was to come back home. My grandpa always said after long, hard ocean journeys, this is the best place to heal body and soul. When I met you at the bar, it seemed like something clicked and felt right. Now, tell me why you're here. I know you're not a gold digger.
Yeah. You ever heard of love at first sight?
Yes?
I saw you wallowing in self-pity. I knew that you were in pain, and when you refused me, I was shocked that no one I was shocked no one had ever refused me, even with my scars, unless they had no money. At at that time, I knew. Oh my God, I am so sorry. At
That's
that
okay.
time, at that time, I knew I wanted you. You didn't even care that I was scarred. I'm still in a lot of pain from some of the wounds, but you took care of me that night. I would have gotten my knees I would have gotten on my knees and begged you to take me to bed. Okay, the first time it was sex, but the second time you were tender and caring. That was making love. It, I am so sorry, y'all. I am so sorry.
That's okay.
This is just hard in my voice today. I am shot. Um, it had just been when I fell for you, and then she laughed. A strange child. I fell last for a man that I didn't know and probably would never see again. When you when you invited me to be with when you invited me home with you, I was initially pissed because I thought I was being patronized, but I knew that I would be on the transport. I would be looking all over for you because that's what you do for someone you love. There, I said it. Crazy, huh? I know you probably don't feel the same about me, but I wanted to be honest. I can take whatever you give me gladly.
Jan turned around, bent down, and kissed her passionately. Then he effortlessly lifted her up and took her to the bedroom. The cloaked woman looked at the Lorena clone. She had to defend herself against 5 men. After the battle, the clone stood over 3 men dead at her feet and 2 who were still barely alive. The woman said,
Miss Taylor, you left 2 people alive.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Sorry doesn't cut it.
she put gas in the room and the 2 men took her unconscious form away. A week later, Jan and Tina were on the Eastwind Shipping Company's personal yacht, the Eastern Pride. In the middle of the Pacific, Tina traced her finger on the Dolphin birthmark on Jan's chest quietly.
We have 2 problems, sir.
Uh-oh. When you go all military on me, I know something's going on.
Yeah, we are screwed unless.
She got off the bed and stood at attention, which was her being naked which with her being naked made Jan laugh.
Sir, Ensign Robbins would like to give you her military assessment.
Proceed, mister. Jan laughed.
We have a big problem, sir. I request permission. I request permission to approach you.
Permission granted, he said, smiling.
She smartly marched over to him and placed his hand on her belly. He looked into her eyes and then heard a little girl's voice in his mind.
Hi, Daddy and Mommy. Since when am I a problem? You said I was special.
His eyes went wide.
I don't believe it.
Tina whispered.
Yes, my love, believe it. This little one is amazing. I was on I was on birth control, but now I'm pregnant. And how can she do this? I don't understand.
Jan took her in his arms and kissed her. She then reluctantly pulled away and got back into attention and barked out.
Sure, I could use this for a reason for a discharge, but they could ask me for personal information, and it may become out that you are the father.
True.
They both heard the little girl say.
Ah, bring it on.
In their minds, they laughed hard and said,
I'm going to make this right by you.
I know that you are not ready to love me, so I'm asking for anything special. I'm not a gold digger.
I know my responsibilities. Hey, at least you 2 won't be on the street begging.
You can ask the Commodore for a job and say that you are essential wartime industry and resign?
I can do that, but I want to finish what I started out there for Lorena and the others.
You bastard, I knew you would say that. Well, anyway, the final option is that I can request discharge based on my war wounds, which, as you know, were severe. Yeah, I know a couple of people in discharge that can assure that this.
She pointed at her belly, which earned her as a response.
Yeah, don't interrupt. My God, my voice is completely failing. Hold on just a second, folks.
Okay.
Yeah, don't hesitate, little one. Does not enter the. Yo, I don't think I can do any more tonight. I am so sorry.
Oh gosh. Yeah,
Should I read?
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't interrupt, little one. Does not enter record.
That's a little bit That's a little bit unethical and probably illegal.
the little voice said.
Listen to her, Daddy. She's pretty smart.
That I will, little one. That I will.
He did not voice his suspicions about the baby out loud. 2 days later, Tina said,
Jan, this is not what I meant. I don't want to force you to do anything.
Hush, Tina. I know what I'm doing.
This is crazy. We are totally incompatible.
I know.
I mean, I'm a poor street kid.
And I come from a rich family.
I was a prostitute.
I'm a shipping company heir.
I got my GED on board the Grant.
I came from the academy.
Lastly, I'm a Methodist.
So, I'm Jewish.
So, sir, however, shall we resolve this?
Tina, we will find a way till death do us part.
Jan T. Ando, in his dress whites, walked hand in hand with Tina Robbins, dressed in a lovely white wedding dress, to the huppah, out in the small park in the estate. Waiting there with his grandfather, his great-grandfather Ivan, his rabbi, and Min. After a simple Jewish wedding ceremony, they were introduced as Jan Tran and Tina and Ando. Jan felt that somewhere Lorena was smiling at Jan.
I'll handle the narration here.
Oh, chapter 33.
The rest of the time was idyllic for the happy couple. Tina went to the discharge office where she was given a medical retirement based on her war wounds. As a wedding present, Nguyen Ando used some unknown connections and arranged for their wedding paperwork to be dated after her discharge to prevent any problems. At a dinner that he hosted at the estate for government and military officials, he introduced them as his grandson and granddaughter. All too quickly, Jan was at the spaceport heading back to the war. He was accompanied by Tina, dressed in a traditional Vietnamese dress, and his grandfather. He embraced his grandfather, who assured him that Tina and Katrina, the name they chose for their baby, would be well taken care of. He looked at Tina and held her close to him. Honey, I'll be home soon. He could tell that she was crying, but looked like her tough former self and said,
You better be.
I talked to grandfather and decided when this war is done, I will take over the company. I think I would like to be a shipping magnate.
You just better remember what's important, Jan.
She put his hand on her belly, which was just starting to show, as the little girlish voice said,
Me.
They both laughed. Tina sighed.
It's going to be bad enough that she's going to ruin my sexy shape and make me sick all of the time. But does she have to talk back all of the time?
This earned her a Bronx cheer. She smiled and kissed him and said,
Come back to us, Jan.
I will. Take care of yourselves. Love you, Tina. She smiled sadly, and the last thing Jan heard in his mind as he turned away and walked to the terminal was,
I'll take care of her, Daddy. Come back soon.
Jan walked into the terminal and was met by a male and female SDF commanders. The female asked,
Lieutenant Ando,
Yes, sir.
please show us your ID.
Jan did, and the male continued.
We need your ID for a special project. Your knowledge in defense, suppression, and special gifts will be invaluable.
What kind of project and what gifts?
Don't be coy, Lieutenant. I can't tell you now, but if you say yes, you'll be promoted to Lieutenant Commander and be based at Edwards.
Edwards, huh?
Yes, that way you can bring your new wife to California to be with her and see her every day.
He smiled at Jan's shocked face and said,
Come on, Lieutenant. Do you really think the SDF is stupid? Let me lay it out for you. There are 3 reasons you're still in the force and not a civilian. They are 1, the war. 2, you're one of the best aviators in the force. And lastly, 3, your mom and your dad. Don't worry. Even if you don't do it, you go back to that rock of yours and fly. But think about it. You'll help put a new plane into operation that may end this war. You spend time with your bride, you get promoted. What do you say?
Well, sir, that's an offer I can't refuse. I accept.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander. Report to the test squadron in a week. That should give you time to make living arrangements.
After Jan turned away to catch up with Tina, the commander turned to a cloaked woman.
That was easy.
What can I say? I know him so well.
Jan walked over to the waiting area and saw his family. Tina saw him and ran over to him and hugged him. She asked him,
What are you doing here?
Strangely enough, I was just assigned to a special project doing flight testing on an aircraft. I'll be at Edwards. Nguyen said, near LA. I can have you stay at a house in Beverly Hills. That sounds good.
I'm sorry, Grandpa, but I would like to stay on the airbase. I'm just a camp follower at heart. Is that okay, Jan?
Why don't you want to stay at the house, honey? It's a lot better than officer family quarters.
If you want us to, but we can, but if we stay on base, it will cut down your commute time. And we can see more of you.
Jan looked at his grandfather, who said, You should listen to her. She is very wise. The Jasmine Bungalow will be here for you at all times. Okay, fine. I'll set quarters up at Edwards. Ivan, please have her items ready. I'll pick them up on Sunday.
As you wish, Master John.
As they walked to their limo, Jan could hear a faint
Yay!
in his mind. He smiled, knowing he did the right thing.
Chapter 34.
From Lieutenant Commander Ando, Jan T, SDF, FTC, to Rear Admiral Ando, Tran, 31 FD, Commander Reserve Ando, Tanya L, SDFC, Washington, D.C. Dear Mom and Dad, yes, you saw that right. I was just promoted to Lieutenant Commander. I guess that war makes people crazy. I'm sorry this is the first letter that I wrote in 3 months, but so much has happened. Dad, you were right. I needed to get out of the war zone to heal. It was hard for me dealing with Lorena's death. She was a large part of my adult life. I'm sure that the two of you can agree that when a couple is so close for so long, that loss affects you a lot. It also hurt a lot because of my special gift. Somehow, I had a special connection not only with Lorena, but with my unborn baby. I felt the baby's thoughts when they died. I hope it never happens to either of you. I would like to know that her death had meaning, but whenever I see the news, I feel it did. I came back to Honla to refresh my spirit like Grandpa always told us to do. When I was at the transit port, I met someone. Her name is Tina. We immediately hit it off, and on a whim, I invited her to join me. At first, she refused, but surprisingly, I ran into her at the transport. It turns out she was not only in the force, but she was Lorena's yeoman. She was scarred, not only physically, but mentally by that battle. Well, I can go into all the details later, but let me say we just got married. I felt from the beginning that we were kindred spirits. We needed to heal it. We needed to heal each other. But before you say not good, because I'm on the rebound, I had a feeling Lorena was watching the wedding and smiling. I also want to tell you about the newest addition to the Anvil family. You are going to be grandparents of a baby girl. We already named her Katrina after Grandma. She's the name that Lorena and I were going to call a baby girl. We decided to honor them by calling this one Katrina. For some reason, I can already feel her and read her little mind, and I know she's going to be a special part of our lives. Min, Trin, and Ben are making sure that Tina takes care of herself. I'll be at Edwards on a project. Not much I can say in this letter, and I bet you and Mom already know about it. I start Monday, and Tina and the baby will be moving at the officers' family quarters with me. Grandpa offered us a place in Beverly Hills, but Tina wanted to be closer to me. I am amazed at how much of a giving person she is. All she asks from me is I love her. I mean, she's aware that I'm well off and I'm in the force like you because we feel the need to serve. She says she would love me even if we were living out of boxes if we were happy. Sometimes when we talk about furnishing the Jasmine bungalow, she says it's mine and I have to remind her that it's ours. Well, I am rambling, so I'm going to cut this short. I hope to see you too soon. Love, Jan. Jan entered the quarters at Edwards. The place was a small, clean, 2-bedroom suite with a kitchenette. Jan and Tina had to laugh when right after they came in, they heard Katrina whimper.
I don't like it here. Take me home.
When they told her she had to deal with it, she gave them a Bronx cheer and went into a kicking fit. They got situated in their new domicile. This enabled Jan to make the short trip to the flight test squadron. The family members of the squadron were very glad to help Tina through her pregnancy. Min would stay with them until after the delivery. Jan arrived at the squadron and reported to his squadron commander. He knocked on the door and was shocked to hear a familiar female voice say enter. He opened the door and stood at attention and barked, "Ma'am, Lieutenant Commander Ando reporting as ordered." He looked and was speechless as his mother was sitting there watching him and smirking. She said,
At ease, Commander.
when he went into parade rest, she stood up and said,
You can close your mouth, son.
She came around the desk and hugged him and said,
Jan, it's good to see you. I missed you. I'm sorry to hear about Lorena.
Mom, it's good to see you too. Hey, wait a minute. How long have you been at Edwards? We haven't seen you since you left.
Well, smarty pants, this project is so classified the commander's staff was ordered not to contact our families for that time.
Where have you been, Mom?
That's classified.
Yes, ma'am. Isn't this nepotism? I've never been a test pilot. This doesn't qualify me to test fly airplanes. Tanya looked stern when she said,
Listen, pal, the testing is about done. We are currently in production and getting ready to put them online. What I need now is to make an operational squadron. I was told when was assigned as test squadron commander that I can take anyone I want who can be best for the mission. You have suppression experience, and you are the finest aviator available. Your job is to get it into the fleet.
she showed him a copy of the design that he was doodling back at the Halsey and continued.
Nepotism is not a factor. And believe me, mister, I will be harder on you than I will be on any other pilot. You mess up, you will fly shuttles from here to Luna for the duration of the war. Am I understood, Commander?
Aye, ma'am.
Go sign out your flight manuals. Tomorrow, you meet with your crew and start ground school. Flying will begin next week. We are on a tight deadline. Flight Command wants a determination on these planes to see if they will be ready in 7 months so they can get them into the flight.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, on a lighter note, when can I meet your bride? Jan, I was very surprised that you have a wife so quickly.
What can I say, Mom? She's a special one. Her eyes squinted suspiciously as she said,
I never thought you would fall for someone else.
again, she's a special one. Why don't you come for a barbecue tonight? I hijacked some steaks from Ivan's larder.
That's a good idea. 1900 then.
Sounds good. Tina sat on the couch as Min was cleaning the quarters. She was happy yet exhausted. She went for her examination. The doctor was surprised that she showed so much. She was happy because Jan would be here for the birth. She held a little picture frame in her hand. This would be her gift to Jan. The baby was quiet throughout the whole thing up until the very end when she waved her little hand and they could see her stick out her tongue. The doctor and nurse were shocked at the little one's display, and it was all Tina could do to keep from laughing. On the way home, he scolded her playfully, which caused her to mentally pout. Tina noticed that Katrina was resting more.
She's probably building up her energy to cause mischief when she pops out.
She pondered, how could she be so much in love with both of them when the comm channel came on? It was Jan. Hi, babe. How was the exam?
Great. We have a healthy little baby here. I have a surprise for you when you get home.
Cool. I have a surprise, too.
Tell me.
At dinner time, have Min thaw out 3 of the steaks so I can grill them when I get home. We're having company.
Oh, I was hoping for a quiet evening. You, me, and this.
She pointed at the round belly, which earned her a little kick. Okay, I guess I'll have to tell you now. My mom is the CO at the test squadron.
Wow, what? That's a surprise.
Yep, and she's dying to meet you. So I invited her for a cookout. Is that okay, hon?
You know it is. I'm dying to meet your mom. I will have Min make some sides. She has been teaching me Vietnamese, and she says I'm getting pretty good.
That's great, baby. See you at 1900. He blew a kiss on the screen, and as she did the same, and the screen winked out. Min opened the door and saw Jan and Tanya came in. She said happily,
Hello, Master Jan. Lady Tanya. It's good to see you again. It has been a while. It's very good to see you as well. How is the Commodore? He is well and wishes to see you sometime. Well, I will have to see him.
Tina came walking in looking radiant in her maternity top and slacks. She kissed Jan passionately and turned to Tanya. Mom, this is Tina. Tina
It's a
smiled
ple-
and Tina smiled and said,
It's a pleasure to meet you, ma'am. Jan has told me so much about you.
Tanya hugged Tina warmly and said,
Please call me either Mom or Tanya. Welcome to the family, honey. Wow, you are well along. Yes, she's growing fast. Jan, I have a surprise for you. I was going to show you later, but I figured I would show you too now. She showed them the ultrasound. Jan, Mom, meet Katrina Hugh Ando.
Jan hugged her tenderly and kissed her forehead. My God, baby, she is beautiful. Tanya echoed.
Yes, she is. And she seems so playful too. She reminds me of Jan.
They all laughed. They enjoyed a great meal and were sitting on the patio watching the sunset. Jan asked, Have you talked to Dad lately? I sent a letter a week ago, but haven't heard back.
No, but with the war, he's been busy. After all, we are barely holding the line in Jupiter.
Mom, if we lose that gate, they can invade Earth.
You're right, which is why our project is so important. Now let's change the subject. Tina, when is the due date? November.
I guess I'm going to have to make arrangements for a 3-room quarter.
No need, Jan, honey. Take up the Commodore's offer to set up in Beverly Hills. They need comfortable quarters.
Tina said,
Honey, I wanted to be close to you, but I did check on the availability of the 3-room quarters, and they said it was a year wait. So we'll need a room for Min in the nursery.
Sounds good. Mom, I'll contact Grandpa to set things up, and we can move over the weekend.
Good. Now I have to go. The ground school starts tomorrow, and we need to get some rest.
She kissed him and said to Tina,
Welcome again to the family.
Jan and Tina were in bed. He was rubbing her belly as Katrina was humming contentedly in their minds. She likes you, I can tell. Remind me to tell you how she and my dad first met.
I'm glad. I still feel somewhat out of my league. She is a decorated combat commander and very cultured, and I'm a street rat. That commission was a gift to me.
Honey, don't ever think that. You're a special woman. She heard in her mind.
Listen to him, Mommy. He is pretty smart, like me. No comments from the peanut gallery, please. I'm just so glad that you love me as much as I love you.
I'm a very lucky man to have 2 beautiful women in my life. He kissed her passionately and spent the evening snuggling as Katrina lulled them to sleep.
Jan entered the theater just before the first briefing on the project. His mother wasn't there yet, so he took the time to look around. He looked at a woman in a well-fitting flight suit. He stared and felt uncomfortable doing it. Her face was covered in bandages. He turned away, thinking that she was wounded in the war, and Mom was sympathetic to a wounded warrior and placed her on the project. He tried to reach out with his instinct and saw nothing, which was strange because Lorena and his mother were the only other people he couldn't read. His thoughts were interrupted as his mother walked into the theater along with the test squadron's XO. Tanya went to the podium on the dais and looked out to the assembled air crews and announced, Welcome to Project Chicken Hawk, ladies and gentlemen. This project has the attention of the highest levels of Force Command. We think that if it's successful, this can win the war for us. The enemy has built ships that use stealth technology. They also have what we call swarmers, which are spheres designed to swarm detonate. They are self guiding. They swarm around their targets and destroy them by detonating when in range. We have lost too many ships and crew to these tactics. If we don't find a way to stop their advantages, we are going to lose this war. He briefed them on the overall philosophy and design of the Devil Ray craft. They then went to the hangar and saw the prototype. On the way, he asked his mom about the woman. She told him that her call sign was Gemini. She was a reconnaissance pilot who was wounded on a mission. Jan wanted to ask more questions, but thought better of that. They reached the hangar, and he gasped because the ship was nothing like anything he ever saw before. It looked more like a large manta ray than a fighter. It was 40 feet high and 150 feet long, with 4 internally mounted engines. It had 2 large internal weapon bays that looked capable of carrying any bomb in the inventory. The most unique part was the 50-foot tail that was stored in the fuselage, which was the key to the system. It was a combined electronic countermeasure and command control radar system. When briefed on its capabilities, Jan was suitably impressed and knew he was right in getting it in this program. It had the ability to hold 50,000 pounds of ordnance, including nukes, and on the new Hammerhead tactile missile, based on his design. It had 2 blasters on the tips and in the front of the fuselage. The crew of 4 consisted of aircraft commander, AC co-pilot, weapons system officer, WSO, electronic warfare officer, EWO, and special battle management officer, BMO. The AC flew the plane and used the blasters. The WSO worked the offensive weapons as well as co-pilot the craft. The EWO would handle the defensive combat systems. The battle manager would be in overall command of the missions as well as guiding other resources into the flight. The craft had the capability to process and handle 100 targets. She briefed them on the program. The school would be extensive. It would be an integrated program of academics and simulator work and flying. When they started simulator training, Jan enjoyed flying it and hoped that the real thing would be as agile as it seemed in the simulator, which replicated the flight deck precisely. After 2 weeks of intensive ground training, Jan and his crewmates walked to the plane. Because of the time constraints, the men and women would be flying operationally as well as continuing test and development. As always, he was awestruck at the size and sleekness of the craft. It rested on a large platform that allowed access to the weapons bay. A combined gravimetric and magnetic hover system was used instead of conventional landing gear to save weight and room. Jan walked around the craft to ensure that all panels were open and as appropriate, and there were no loose parts. He checked the weapons bay to ensure that the arms and bombs were installed correctly, and they all had arming pins in them. He also checked the blasters and assured they were fully charged. Because of the desire to get this weapon system into the fleet in time, they would be combining flight envelope testing and live weapons firing on each flight. He wanted to test a hammerhead, but was told they were not ready. When he was satisfied with his pre-flight, he climbed up the ladder into the flight deck. The flight deck was state-of-the-art. The seats and instruments were arranged in 2x2 formation. The AC had the seat up front and to the left. To his right was the WSO seat. Behind him and facing away from him was the BMO's compartment. The EWO was behind and facing away from the WSO. He met his crew for the first time. Lieutenant Commander Stephen Banjo Edwards was a WSO. Lieutenant Commander Juanita Stalker Torres was an EWO, and Commander Tanya Ando was the battle manager. It was unusual for a battle manager to be an aviator, but because Tanya was the head of the project, she had to go to battle manager transition training before she could be the project head. Before the mission, Tanya briefed them on the profile. Jan would evaluate the flight characteristics of the Devil Ray and handle some fighter combat. They would do some bomb runs and defense suppression at the moon's southern range. Lastly, they would coordinate some battle space activity. The plane captain strapped in the crews and assumed their positions for engine start. Jan turned on battery power and said on the intercom,
Engine start check.
at various times during the flight, Jan would ask the crew to advise him of their status, both physically and with their equipment. He waited for the responses.
Whiskey check.
Echo check. Bravo check. He said.
Alpha check and engine start.
He started the engines. They were quiet compared to other fighters he flew. When the gauges were in the green, he activated the hover and taxied the plane. He smoothly maneuvered the plane to the end of the runway, EOR. As he did that, he accomplished some ground taxi maneuvers to see how the plane handled. Satisfied with the results, he elevated the craft and opened the bays so that the EOR team can prepare the weapons for flight. And when EOR captain displayed the pins, he got on the radio and said,
Steel 01 at EOR, ready for takeoff.
As he waited, he said on the intercom,
Takeoff check.
The crew acknowledged just as he received the clearance to take off. He turned onto the runway and started the takeoff roll. When the plane was at 500 feet into the takeoff roll, he pulled hard on the stick and it blasted straight up into the sky. In less than 5 minutes, it was in space. Even though it would be rare that they would need to do that, as part of the testing profile, Jan had to be sure the craft could handle it. When they entered space, he confirmed the status of the crew and started warming up the push drive. When the push drive was ready, he engaged it, and the plane started its 1-hour journey to the moon. The crew busied themselves with systems checks, and Stalker extended the tail, which included the electronic warfare and early warning suites. Tanya and the EWO received signals that were classified as an enemy, which meant that the evaluators were wasting no time. She came on the intercom and said, Alpha, start our racetrack at this time. Jan clicked the microphone 2 times to advise her that he understood, and he started an oval-shaped holding pattern. Meanwhile, Tanya sent data link information to the fighters assigned to the exercise to intercept the bandits. Meanwhile, EWO analyzed the enemy frequencies and commenced jamming them. Between the data links and the jamming, the enemy was helpless before the friendly fighters. Jan watched his threat monitors to ensure that no one tried to jump them. He knew that in a real combat environment, the Devil Ray, as a high-value resource, would have an escort with them. He didn't like that idea. He knew that with its capabilities, using an escort would be a waste of resources. He reached out with his instinct to observe the space outside the craft. He found that the instinct gave him better situational awareness than the scope, despite its capability. He called out on the intercom.
BMO, I have 2 bandits. 200 out at 6 o'clock low. Closure rate 700.
The EWO and WSO looked at each other. The EWO moved her scope out at the same time Tanya did. She said, I have a tally. A flight of 6 enemy craft, AC cleared, to engage at 100 miles. Tanya knew from long experience not to ignore his warnings because they were usually right. She also knew from this profile she was not to vector any fighters into combat, as they were to evaluate their fighter combat capability. Jan continued to race track as Tanya continued to vector fighters to the distant fight. When the enemy flight reached the engagement range, he said,
Tally-ho.
and made a hard break toward the enemy. His mind sorted out the potential fight, and he said,
Ewo, start jamming.
he made a hard break toward one of the winged men and turned into its 6. He fired the guns, and they had a direct hit on the drone. He immediately did a split S into the lead drone and fired again, destroying it. He was impressed at the ship's maneuvering capability for its size. He allowed another one to reach his 6, then maneuvered so that when he made another turn, their momentum caused them to crash into each other. He saw the knock it off signal on his helmet mounted behind him. Behind him, he could sense Tanya nod proudly at his performance. She said, "This is the first time I flew with you, Steel Eye. They are right. You are dangerous." Later, at the bomb range, Jan heard in his helmet,
Offset confirmed. AC, you have steering to the target, cleared and hot.
a WSO was helping Jan with non-visual navigation to the target. Jan saw in his helmet-mounted sight how the Piper, or Death Dot, lined up with the target. He said on the intercom,
Bomb away.
as he reached the release point, he heard the verbal warning say, "Warning, warning, bay doors open, bomb away, warning, bay doors closing." The bomb detonated on the target just as Jan pulled the craft away. The ray had its tail retracted during their range time. During the test of the offensive weapons, they fired 2 arm missiles and dropped 2 bombs. After their second run, Tanya said, "Knock it off, let's go home. Great work, crew." They flew back to Edwards, landed, and spent the rest of the day debriefing and writing in their reports. It was late when Jan returned home. Home was a large 50-room mansion in Beverly Hills. Jan always shook his head when he saw this edifice. He said to himself,
Grandpa doesn't believe in restraint.
he saw Tina in the kitchen again, looking very radiant. Min was cutting some vegetables. Tina handed him a beer and kissed him. He said to her,
Hey, babe, how was your day?
"It's okay. Min is teaching me how to cook. I hope to be half the chef you are."
Oh, you will be, hon. Now let's go up and get frisky.
Jan, I hope you never grow up. The cloaked woman saw Lorena in the simulator. The commander said to her,
She is flying the Devil Ray at a level I have only seen 2 do.
Oh, sorry.
That's
She
okay.
said,
"Good. She is ready. Prepare her transfer to the Thunder Base. Have her see me."
she
Lorena
said,
came in
oh,
and saw the cloaked woman. "Yes, ma'am. Your training is complete. Your assignment is imminent. Your code name will be Iron Owl. You know what your call sign is already." "I am honored, Lady Cocklew. I have a reward for you first." "Yes, ma'am?" "You may kill your 2 handlers tonight. Make it as painful as you wish." She smiled wickedly and said, "Gladly, ma'am."
Chapter 36. It was November. Jan was nearing the end of the development period and was testing out some new tactics in the simulator. He was working with Gemini, as she would eventually be on his crew when they deployed. She first had to get the bandages removed and get cleared by the flight surgeon. He was hoping it would be soon because Tina and the baby were getting cranky. He shook his head when he heard the thoughts that mom and daughter had in his mind. and thought,
Such language from both of them. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Jan came out of the latest simulator debriefing and was approached by a petty officer. He said, Commander Ando, your wife is on the line. He went over to his office and picked up the communications channel.
Hi, honey.
Jen, the water broke. Min is taking me to the hospital.
Oh, wow. Already? I'll see you there, babe.
He ran out of the office and yelled at the petty officer.
Tell Commander Ando to meet me at the hospital.
He then ran out of the squadron. At the hospital, Tina had been in labor for 6 hours. Her screams were blood-curdling, and her language was something to make a grizzled old Master Chief huddle in fear. Jan said,
Push, honey, push.
She grabbed his gown and pulled him to her and yelled.
I am pushing, goddammit!
She said between puffs.
You would think with her being so gabby and impatient, it would be easier. Jen! No, you fucking son of a bitch for doing this to me. I'm gonna break every bone in your body, kill you, and serve you at the club. So help me God.
They heard her say in her mind,
It's cold, Mommy and Daddy. That wasn't a very nice thing to say to Daddy.
This made them laugh and Tina cry. The nurse wrapped her up and put her on Tina's lap. Tina had tears in her eyes and she whispered,
Jan, she's beautiful.
She pointed at her and said,
Look at this, just like Daddy.
She pointed at her right buttock and there was a small dolphin image there which matched the birthmark on his belly.
Must be in the family. She's just like her mommy.
He held her as she yawned and closed her eyes.
Wow, she's sleepy.
It's about time. I love you, Jan.
I love you too, Tina.
Tanya walked in dressed in scrubs like everyone else, and Jan handed Katrina Hui to her and said,
Grandma, meet your granddaughter, Katrina Hui Ando.
She commented on how she wanted a sister for Jan, but never could. Jan noticed that Katrina was shivering, but assumed that she was cold. All too soon, the flying was completed. Tanya was at the podium. She said,
Great work, all. Now it's time for us to get into the fight. Take this week to say goodbye to your families, because next week you are deploying. Enjoy.
Min opened the door and said,
Good evening, Master Jan.
in Vietnamese. Tina wanted to learn Jan's language, so she insisted when Min was around that they speak it. Jan felt a tug at his flight suit and looked down to see Katrina smiling happily. He picked her up and said,
Well, hello, little monkey.
He tossed her in the air as she giggled happily and kept thinking.
Again.
Tina walked in and said in Vietnamese, Jan, quit it. You make her spit up every time. Oh, sorry. Oh. He saw how radiant she was. She was wearing a pair of short shorts and a VAQ 480 t-shirt that she tied up at the midrib. It was easy to see there was nothing under those items.
How was your day, honey?
Rough. Min is a tyrant as a personal trainer.
Hey, no pain, no gain. You said you wanted to tone up after the baby.
True, but
nothing.
Jan picked her up and yelled for Min to watch the baby as he took Tina up to their bedroom. He took her in his left arm and kissed her passionately as Katrina covered her eyes and said in their minds,
Ew, gross.
They laughed and held each other until she started to fidget, so Jan gave her to Min to take her to the crib. Jan spent the next day packing up. Tina, Katrina, and Min and flew with them to the Windsong estate. Jan wanted to get away from the military environment and spend time in familiar surroundings. Jan and Tina and the baby played in the sand and the beach. They watched her wiggle happily. She kept singing and humming. Jan and Tina were sitting in their beach blankets, enjoying the sun. Jan put her on his belly, and she fell asleep there.
Tina, do you know how happy you make me?
Yes, but keep telling me. I love hearing it.
I promise you two, I'll be home after this war is done. I would stay now to be with you two, but I think I need to finish this for Lorena and all the others who died so far.
I know. You don't have to explain to me. I was in the force, you know. The difference between you and me is that you are a warrior. You have duty in your DNA. I just want you to remember what is important in your life.
I know what's important. That's you and Katrina.
He kissed Tina passionately and stroked Katrina's head. She cooed contentedly. The day came when Jan had to leave. The East Wind air tram waited at the port for him. He hugged his grandfather and said,
Grandpa, please take care of them for me. I will, Jan. They will be in your wing of the main house. Ivan, the triplets, and I will take good care of them. It will be good to have the sound of a baby here again. It makes this old man's heart glad in my declining years. Don't be silly, Grandpa. You will live forever. Probably not, my grandson. Please come back soon. Jan, East Wind and I need you.
Min, Trin, and Bin all hugged him. He hugged Ivan and shook his hand.
I know everything is in good hands, great-grandfather, my friend.
As they should be, Master John. All will be as you leave it. He turned to look at Tina and Katrina, who was pouting. In his mind, she said,
Daddy, please don't go.
I must, little one. Be strong and take care of Mommy. You are my big girl.
I will, Daddy. Please do we one more time.
He tossed her up and... Oh, go ahead.
He tossed her up in the air gently to her happy laughs and giggles. He held her as he looked into Tina's teary eyes.
Honey, I'll be back. I promise.
I know you will. Keep your head down when you return. We are going to make a brother or sister for this one.
Katrina Hui stuck her tongue out at her mom.
At least.
He hugged and kissed her and said,
I love you and I will be back.
As the air tram left and SDF transport drove onto the estate gate, the security guard looked shocked at the female occupant who asked,
I would like to see Mrs. Jan Ando.
The security guard called Ivan, who explained who it was. Moments later, the guard waved her to the main house. The tram arrived at the main house. Tina was next to Win, holding the baby. Ivan and the triplets stood at discreet distance, prepared for anything. The occupant exited the tram. Tina came out holding Katrina. When she saw the person, she said,
Oh my God, it can't be.
And that is the end of... That is the end of this section of All's Fair, a Dolphin Wars novel. What'd you guys think?
Sorry, I forgot I was muted there for a second. But
okay.
I was like, wait a second. Why is Raymond repeating my lines? But okay, that's fine. Like, oh shoot.
Well, Gumby was all over the place today.
Right
okay,
now
let's see. I got
wetting about a gallon of water a minute.
Yeah, I've got my water here. This was great. Jill, thanks for stepping in.
You're welcome. It was a little weird talking to myself, switching between one voice and another, but it was kind of fun too. I'm sorry that Agent Pepsi one couldn't read her lines.
Yeah.
But I hope she feels better soon.
Yes.
Yeah, she did
And
not
Jill,
sound
you are a
happy.
very chilling person when you read. When you read the dark parts.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I guess um you know, well, I've really
I wouldn't
gotten
want to
into it's
be.
the way it's written. It works.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to be around you during labor.
I actually did think about that when I was reading those lines. I tried to channel it.
And you do a pretty good Katrina too.
Yeah, that one's pretty easy. Every woman's been a little girl before, so that's okay. That's not bad.
Yeah, I thought
I
you'd
think
be
it's
pretty good with the sarcastic little baby.
I love those lines, but it's so weird that she's so cognizant of everything that's going on, given
Mm-hmm.
only being an infant and
Yeah.
a fetus even.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well,
And it kind of creepy that I mean, is it is there any way to shut her off when they're uh doing stuff?
She's a child, not a VCR. You can't just shut her off.
I mean, not shut her off, but like shut the telepathy off.
Oh.
It's kind of creepy.
It's a gift, not a VCR. You
Yeah.
can't just shut it off.
Oh, there'll be more. There'll be more. There'll be more.
Also, what's the deal with Tina being in love with Lorena? That was kind of weird. And
Oh,
then,
that
and then
happened
Jan-
that happened in the last one.
It's an admiration kind of love.
Yeah.
okay, not in
Yeah.
love. I saw in
Yeah.
love, and so okay.
Well, let's see. Yeah, Agent Pepsi One. You need to. I know you probably won't answer, but you need to take tomorrow off.
She's finally been taken down by the germ factories.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Let's go back and let me see what comments. Agent Pepsi One says, "Fetus Katrina has more sense than most of my students." Yeah, Katrina is definitely going to be an interesting character.
Is she anything like Stewie Griffin? What's going on?
No, she's not that homicidal.
Okay, good. That's Tanya's job.
That's Tanya's job, yeah. Let's see. I'm looking to see what comments. Well, I hope everybody liked it. I'm looking to see if there's any good comments. Sorry about that, Agent Pepsi. You started out. You were a trooper for what you could do.
She got taken down by all that talk of the love making.
Probably. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm looking. Let's see. Talking about the foul
We had some super
language.
chats.
Yeah, I see that. Okay. Swift -1 with a $1 super sticker. Let's see. Thank you very much. Okay. Polar bears, are you
Awesome.
really? What, Joe?
Oh, nothing. I'm just saying the super sticker's awesome.
Yeah. Polar bears are really irresponsible with lasers, but they love riding around on motorcycles. Tim says, this is as dirty as Raymond gets. Yeah. FKHC says, I thought Harvey Cthulhu was the father. Oh, bite your tongue. And then we lost the voice. Let's see. And Agent Pepsi 1 with a $5 super chat. I'm sorry, Raymond and crew, for ruining the reading. My voice is completely gone. Drinking a large glass of Sunny D and took another Edahist, whatever Edahist is.
Antihistamine.
Oh, okay. No, you're fine. It didn't ruin it. Actually, I thought when you were coughing, that would have been a nice touch for Tina, since she was in pretty bad shape anyway from all her injuries. But yeah, you get better. Rest up, drink lots of fluids, and take
No,
tomorrow off.
You can't ruin it by the vocal work when it's already been ruined by the writing.
Hey,
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
hey.
Hey, I'm just trying to make her feel better.
Yeah. And she thanks Jill for taking over.
Yeah, you're welcome, Agent Pepsi One. I look forward to reading with you next time, which is what I say later.
He was going out at work. Oh, it was going out at work early today. Oh, giving tests, so don't have to lecture. Okay. Ooh. What's going on with the allergies?
I even I have some mild allergies too.
So far, it hasn't been. Well, I'm not going to say.
Usually, I have them in my eyes so much, not on my nose and sinuses. So,
Agent Pepsi One says, Jill is scaring the crap out of me. She is the ultimate admiral. Yeah.
Thank you.
Jill's definitely got a tough streak in her.
I liked reading all that stuff about the Devil Ray too. That's a pretty cool ship.
Yeah.
Cool,
it is.
Little ship.
It is a little.
little.
Agent
Well,
Pepsi
I thought about the Defiant when you said how maneuverable it was, despite its size. Wait, how big is it? Is it really big? How big is it? I forget.
It's 40 by 150. So I'd say it's probably roughly the size of maybe a B-1 bomber in real life.
Wow. Okay, yeah, that's Defiant size.
Yeah. Agent Pepsi One says, "Bravo, Raymond. I'm amazed at your writing. The twists and twists and twists. Still pissed that you had my first command shot out from under my butt." Well, you know.
Yeah, rest in peace, Lorena.
Yeah, rest in peace, Lorena.
Who knows what's to come?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you should. She loves your rating.
Oh, thank you, Agent Pepsi One.
Okay.
I like your readings too.
Yeah. King Dolphin said, "I wanted to hear you do the scene." Actually, Jill did a pretty good job. I could see a Master Chief running in terror.
Oh, I want to hear her. I want to hear her do it too, though.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Let's compare. Who's going to make the Master Chief run in terror? Let's see. I think. All right. Okay. Oh, Sandra's upstairs on the iPad. Okay. And then Trike got jealous last night and scratched her. Poor
Trike.
Yeah. Wallace Lang says, "Your icon reminds me of the Alf series." Well, I kind of liked.
Oh, yes.
I kind of liked Alf. "I'm sure he didn't mean to hurt you. I would never want to see Trike if he ever gets angry at someone he feels is threatening you. Pain is the operative word." Okay. And FKHC says, "Wow, Jill. Snorter Poopus fainted."
Uh-oh.
King Dolphin went, "Yeep."
That was pretty fun to read.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to get Agent Pepsi One to try it as well.
I hope she can.
Yeah. Anti-derivative Jill has to be the first time we heard you swear like that.
Definitely like that. I have sworn before, but it's usually like, okay, it's passing.
Yeah.
Not a continuous barrage of it.
Ah, yeah. Threatening with death is kind of right, let's see. Snort claps paws.
Yeah, I haven't done that either.
Snort claps paws. Lots of awesome, amazing segment. Snort says, I talk to myself all the time, but I never listen. And Pop Culture Breakdown is now live. There's the link. And we read this one. Fetus Katrina has more sense than most of my students.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is sad. The child is shut off like a VCR. And good. Get some rest. Hot toddy. All right. Okay. All right. Oh, hi, Rennie. We miss you too. She says, hey, Raymond, we had a blast with you guys. We missed you both so much already. Yes, they were here for the
Hey,
weekend.
Rennie and Tara.
Yep, Rennie and Tywin were here for the weekend. A micro podcon.
And they're being adorable in the chat, too.
Yeah. Oh. FKHC says, next time Agent Pepsi 1 is on the show, make her do it. Oh, that's a great idea. Everyone wants to hear Agent Pepsi 1 cussing. She could channel her teacher mode. The Master Chief would laugh at me saying, go back to barracks, little girl. Hey, Tyron. Glad you guys are back home. Right before school starts, I have barrages of swearing fits. Well, then you should fit quite in. Yeah. Jill's right. You would have been perfect. Right. Let's see. Anything? Oh, yeah. There's somebody's anniversary tomorrow. Wonder who that is. Ours. Yes, our anniversary is tomorrow. We've been married for 15 years, and Sandra hasn't killed me yet.
Well, yet. Happy anniversary, Sandra. And
Happy
Raymond.
anniversary.
Thank you. Let's see. AP1 could channel her inner R. Lee Ermey. Snort says, happy whoopee anniversary. All right. Well, thank you for the anniversary wishes. I've got to... let's see. Let me get the thing up so we can go to show notes. All right, here we go. Let's get back here. No, that's all right. So now we are. Nope, I am not going to forget. Oh. FKHC wants me to show you something, Max.
Oh?
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh. Yes, apparently he did. Let's see. Well, should I say let's see? I don't know.
All right. Okay, a meme for Max. All right. Oh dear, oh dear.
Huh. Funny. Thank you, Tim.
Let's see. Agent Pepsi 1 says, Raymond will forget the anniversary in the morning. Sandra reminds him with a Gibbs smack. Probably. Gonna
Well, you
relax.
could always go out and buy a new Challenger.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a Challenger to go with the Charger. Yeah, that's an idea. We're going to relax and then go to Texas Roadhouse.
Good plan.
Yeah. She almost forgot and nearly scheduled a flight. Oh, I settled that real quick. Actually, Raymond was very keen to remember their anniversary. He's a good husband. Oh, thanks, Rennie. Then you blame Raymond for not reminding you and smack him anyway. They went. They went to Texas Roadhouse. No, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I just got the handle. Okay. All right. Memes for Saturday. Okay. Well, now 'tis time for show notes because we only got 15 minutes before Pop Culture Breakdown. All right. So
it's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. Yeah, with Mr. Raven and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. We're bringing it on. It's time for show notes. You've all been warned. It's time for show notes.
all right. Snorter Pooper says, take care of a human, dolphin, doggo, Dalek, ferret, eagle, hedgehog, and Chinese giant salamander. TM, a wholly owned subsidiary of the
Salamander.
Salamander. TM, a wholly owned subsidiary of the DolphinWars.com. And what we're talking about is There he is.
Wow.
Yeah, he's big.
Looks flattened.
Yeah. That is
That's
big.
cool.
That is a big creature. Actually, kind of looks like a humongous oxalotl with those little leggies over there.
Pretty neat.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Snorty, for teaching us new animals.
Yep. Okay. Okay, so there it is. Now, show notes. We got this on Just Cause this Saturday. We're going to have the ice cream sandwich challenge. So bring your ice cream sandwiches with you.
Do we have
So we can see which ones are better, which ones we like.
Do we have a list yet?
For?
The ice cream sandwich off.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Just checking.
Yeah, I think it's just do it. A week from tonight, we're going to review the next 2 issues of the Fantastic Four. And the 30th, you are all cordially invited to celebrate with King Dolphin TV the 400th episode. 400 episodes already. Wow. That's a milestone.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And then, guys, I got to start getting things for the Wednesday interviews. Please get me names, email addresses, or ways to so we can get some interviews starting in September. I'm trying the best I can, but if I can get some names and stuff, that would be great. So that is the show notes. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, so. Alrighty. I just double check, make sure I got everybody. Okay. All right, so thank you all for being here, and I hope you all enjoyed the reading of the story. I'll be working on the script for the next installment, and hopefully Agent Pepsi 1's allergies will be beaten down by then. We had Phantom Outsider. We had Swift -1. We had Wallace Lang. We have Sandra, our producer. Trike is sleeping.
Thank God.
Yes, we were able to get a reading done. I think she was up with Sandra doing some sewing. All right. We had FKHC 2005. We had Legatus Legionai. Reniel was here. Tyron Leftbridge was here. And the one, the great, the magnificent Snora Pupas! Cooper. Try it. Hail the Trike. And Trike is a house. And Reniel says, by the way, Trike is huge. Yeah, he's big. He is big. Great reading. Great reading. Sorry, Agent Pepsi 1, you couldn't hang out with sorry about your allergies. Get some rest. And see you Saturday. Ice cream. Ooh, hey, Trike. Ice cream. All right. So, Snorta Poopas was there. Let's see. Yes, good night, all. Let's see. Sandra says, good night, all. I'm just saying, enjoyed cooking for you guys. Team bacon all the way. Sandra said he just barked when his name was mentioned. Let's see. And do a pod raid on Pop Culture Breakdown. You've got the link. All right. Again, Jill, thank you very much, not only for your reading, but stepping up when Agent Pepsi won.
You're welcome. I had a blast.
Good.
It was a lot of fun reading.
Good. Glad. I enjoy when you read too. Max, great work. Great work.
Thank you.
Great. Hope your allergies go down, get better.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a shower.
All right. And Agent Pepsi 1, thank you very much. Sorry you couldn't make it all the way through. But hope you feel better in a few days. And please check out Jill's channel. There's the link. What you got? What you got coming up?
I got 17 until 1,400 subscribers. So please, I'm pretty sure everybody here is subscribed, but just in case, double check. Maybe we're unsubscribed because YouTube likes to do that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
On Tuesdays and Fridays, I stream at 11 a.m. Central Time. And I've also started streaming on Saturday nights, just random things. Sometimes a review of something, sometimes games, sometimes, sometimes just a general hangout chat. And so, but this Friday, we're going to review Hunt for Red October.
Ooh.
And on Saturday night, I'm going to play some Fallout.
Cool. Yeah, I'm still stuck at 1.1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At least you did make it to the 1,000, though. That was a long time coming.
Yep, it was. All right. Well, thanks again. And like I said, check Jill's channel out. And guys, love the reading today. I think it was really, really good. And Agent Pepsi 1, again, please feel better. And everybody, you take care. Go to Pop Culture Breakdown. And I love you all. And we will see you on Saturday. Guys, stick around in the back just for a quick
Okay.
seconds. Okay.
Wait.